Mhm.
I'm Poppy, and this is Edward Villavicencio. And today we are here to talk to you a little bit about these trips that we started doing. So a little bit about us. We met in Peru like 20 years ago now. And so it was really awesome. I was a backpacker, Edward was on vacation, and I was just going back to Peru. So we've had around 20 years of experience traveling the country. And so we started doing these trips because we had friends that wanted to go to Peru. And we were like, sure, let's go. And so we've kind of kept that spirit involved with the way that we're doing this business now, which is a group of friends basically going together to have this experience. We both believe that travel is something that really expands your mind. So we like to help facilitate it for people. But the other thing that we really like to do is make this adventure very easy for people. So it's a really cool way for us to be able to help people have an amazing experience in Peru. So we have a couple of restaurants in Peru, and we love to open up businesses. And we really, really enjoy travel. So this was kind of a natural thing for us to evolve to. We're not sure how long we're going to do them for, but we've done quite a few now, so we're pros. And some of the things that we have to offer is just our real insider knowledge about Peru. So we stay with people the whole time, which I think is kind of cool. Like if I was going to a country I didn't know very well, we're there to help with translations, figure out food and menus. And so that's kind of what's great about us.
Yeah, the thing is, guys, like I'm Edward, by the way, is
Mhm.
that we take care of everything for you. So we want to make it easy. So you just experience the country, try the restaurants that we go, places that we've been to, and to just relax and enjoy the ride. We want to make it easy. Like Poppy mentioned, it's almost 21 years now that we've been traveling together. We go to numerous times a year to Peru because of our restaurants. So we know the country really good, and with that we have alliances with different restaurants, with different hotels, with different tour places, and that way we can provide a great service and don't have to charge a lot for it. And like Poppy mentioned too, like we have fun doing this, and it's like bringing friends with us.
Very cool. So today we're just going to have this quick presentation, show you about kind of the overview of what we're doing. It's kind of the sample itinerary of what we do on all the trips. There'll be information, contact information, but down at the bottom you see the website there. You can always text me or contact us through the website and let us know. You can email me. So if you have any questions, feel free just to reach out. We have trips going a couple times a year. So our first stop would be Lima. So you fly in and get into Lima, and then we have a couple of days and a couple of nights in Lima on this tour. And so we're going to kind of go over what we're going to be doing in Lima.
Yeah, with that, it's like the trip starts at the airport. So we'll be at the airport waiting for you guys with a couple sprinter vans, depending on the size of the group. And we will wait for you there, go to the hotel. We stay at this beautiful hotel, five-star hotel, Casandina Premium in Miraflores, kind of like the uptown part of Lima. Um, for example, the first night we're just gonna sleep there, and then the experience starts the next morning. That they have a really good breakfast there, breakfast buffet that has every kind of like I don't know, deli meat, cheeses, omelets, pastries, really good. And then from there, usually we get together around noonish and start the experience. One of the days we're gonna do the Mira bus. It's kind of like a hop on, hop off bus that we rent just for ourselves. They'll pick us up from the hotel and bring us to the center of Lima. The center of Lima is a more colonial constructions. It's kind of like the old Lima. A lot of the constructions are from the 1800s, and it has like a lot of very interesting places to visit. Most times we go to a monastery that is super amazing, guys. It's like we try to do the normal stuff, but then we always add our little touch to it. Places that maybe most tourists don't go, and there's like hidden jewels there, gems that we can show you guys around.
And one of our hidden gems are our restaurants. So that's really
Ooh,
exciting that we get to bring people to our restaurants in Peru.
yeah, with restaurants, like Peru is the first culinary destination of the world for like 8 years in a row. And with our restaurant, we do, I mean, we have every kind of like food in Peru. There's a lot of like mixed cultures that they came, a lot of people came from China. We have Japanese migrants, people came from Africa, uh, Italian, Spain. And with that, they all brought their own culinary, and we kind of like did it in Peru, fusioning with the Peruvian ingredients, and that's how the Peruvian gastronomy started. So these are pictures of our restaurants there. And what we do, we're specialists in seafood, but we have like vegetarian options and some Peruvian classic dishes with like beef and chicken. What we do in our restaurants, we'll be going to both of them, one day to each, for one day for lunch, you go around for dinner, or vice versa. And we do like family style meals. So we pick a little of every like different plate, so everybody can have a taste of different flavors and different like, it's a very cool experience that we provide in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that if you want to look us up, our restaurant's called Bada Maritazo, and it's another one of our businesses, obviously. And again, it's kind of like a way that we've fusioned our two features. So it's really set up that for tourism's, yet it has the Peruvian, all the natural recipes. So it's kind of like a merging of the two cultures.
We're in the top 10 with both restaurants in TripAdvisor, in all the Peruvian restaurants that exist.
We're excited about that. We worked pretty hard to get there. So, one of the days we are going to do the walk on the Malecon, and if you see down towards the bottom that picture, it's this huge walk, a mile or two that we take all along the whole ocean. So there's beautiful parks to stop at and different things that we do along the way. We just take our time and go nice and slow. If there's any issues though, if people are concerned, you don't need to be able to walk too much. Like if you can walk a mile, you can do our trip. And then because we have options for people, if they don't want to walk the whole time, we can take taxis and whatnot. So we just don't want to scare anybody, like this trip to Machu Picchu. And people, that's actually a question people ask, like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can walk that much, but we can, as long as you can do a mile, you're fine. So but this whole Malecon walk, if you like to walk more, it goes all the way to Barranco, and that's like the art district. So you can see that graffiti in the center there. And it's just fun to see Barranco, and it's fun to walk around, and we stop and eat and we get coffee, and it's all a lot of fun.
Then, guys, we will stay 3 nights at the Casadina Hotel, the night that we arrived to Peru, to Lima, and then 2 full days in Lima. One of the days that Poppy mentioned, the Barranco Miraflores walk, and the other was the center of Lima. Then we were gonna fly to Cusco to go to a sacred valley. So what we do is like we have the sprinter vans picking us up from the hotel to bring us to the airport. And we fly into Cusco. It's the only way to get to a sacred valley. So what we do there is like we have a tour guide, a friend of ours that has been living there for 12 years. So she's part of the group. So when we arrive to Cusco, Cusco is high altitude. It's like 11,000 feet almost. So what we do there is like they have like a couple of vans waiting for us at the airport, and we go down straight to the Sacred Valley. The Sacred Valley is somehow like around like Denver altitude in the 8,500, 9,000 feet. And we do there like 3 nights. What we like to do is like don't be hopping from hotel to hotel every night. So we stay 3 nights in Lima and then 3 nights in the Sacred Valley. And every day we'll do the different activities. We'll do like, there's places that our friend Natalie, that is a guide there, she showed us. There's like a hummingbird sanctuary that is super interesting and an amazing place. Like they have 24 species of hummingbirds that migrate till that area. It's kind of like the perfect conditions for it. And there's 4 species that is only from the area. There's one that's the size of a robin. There's like a hummingbird that size like a pigeon almost. It's amazing to see. A miniature one, there was a long tail. And so that's one of the places. Another place is the animal sanctuary. So it has like, what they do there is like they rescue animals like the condor, and like that's like Paddington bear. It's like a, how you call that puppy? Like the with a eyes,
Yeah,
sunglass or something.
yeah, like
Yeah,
the spotted bear, I think.
yeah. So it's from the region. And what they do, like they rescue them, they rescue the condor too. The condor is one of the biggest birds in the world. Like the biggest ones are from, like the wingspan are like 9 feet. So they have pumas. So what they do is they rescue them and they try to get them back into nature. The ones that they can, and the ones that they cannot go back to nature anymore, they take really good care of them. It's a really nice cause. So
So
that's one of the
that's
days.
something, yeah, and that's something that we like to do is support the locals. So cool places like this, it doesn't get a ton of business, but it's really awesome. And so when we go in there, we're supporting the rehabilitation of different animals and we get to see them. So it's like better than a zoo, in my opinion, because, well, some of the animals have to stay there because there's something wrong with them, like their beak is too broken. But some of them, they're getting ready to go back out. Like I believe last time we were there, Paddington Bear and his wife were having a baby. And so they weren't going to get the baby to talk to the people at all. Like they're gonna reintroduce him into the wild. And so it's super cool that we're able to support this. The same as the hummingbird park. This guy, it was just this cool guy in the Andes, and him and his family built this basically a paradise for people to go visit. And then there's birds and butterflies and all sorts of amazing things. So we really like to keep supporting the locals, and then in turn they support us back. So it's a nice synergistic relationship. And so, of course, Machu Picchu is kind of the whole highlight of the trip. Well, some people actually say it's not at the end of the day. Machu Picchu is usually why people want to go, right? Like they want to see this one of the seven wonders of the world. And you see that big picture where people are standing there with their hands out on that stone. It's an amazing, like the stone has kind of a vibration. If you're into that kind of stuff, there's a feeling, right? Like you get to Machu Picchu and it's kind of hard to describe that how it feels to be there. I'm sure you've seen the pictures if you're interested in this trip, but once you get there, there's just something really magical about the whole place. And so yeah, and on our Machu Picchu day, again, something that we get questions about, people are concerned like, oh, I have a little bit of a knee issue, or what, how about the altitude, all that. And we really have this trip accessible for most people. And so we don't like hike the Inca Trail. Like some people do that. That's awesome. That's not what we're doing though. We are taking a bus to the entrance, and then we walk around in the Machu Picchu area, and then we take a bus back home and go to a nice lunch. And um, so
Yeah.
like I said before, oh, you need to do some walking, but we really make this accessible for people. So you don't be scared about that part of it. Like it feels like big, like we're in the Andes, but we really do make it pretty easy.
And what we do that day, because it's such a high demand for people, I mean, Machu Picchu is one of the seven wonders of the New World. So what we do is we hire a company to take care of the groups for that day. So we are tourists in that day. They pick us up at the hotel. They bring us in a van to a train station. There's like a couple of ways to get into Machu Picchu. One is by train, and the other one's by hiking 4 days from Cusco. So we take the plan B. We take the van, and what we do, we get the train. We get an upgrade ticket. It's a panoramic. Is called the Vista View 360. So it's like all surrounded by glass. It's like a 2-hour ride in order to get there, and it's a beautiful ride. It's amazing. And the town that we arrive is called Aguas Calientes. And from there, like the tour company takes care of everything for us. They have a guide waiting for us. It's super easy, really. Like they'll bring us to another place to get a van in order to go up to Machu Picchu. And then we come back in the van after the tour, like a 2 hours or so there. And then we have lunch in this 5-star hotel. Like has a really cool buffet that got like some typical food, some international plates too. So then we get that train back and go back to our hotel. So everything is taken care of by the Andean Wings Company. That's part of the owners of the hotels that we stay there.
So a part of the tour has to do with just making sure that each part is taken really well care of. So we hire professionals in different areas as a way to ensure that everything's done super well. Even like back to the city of Miraflores tour, we hire a tour guide and a whole bus just for us. So we really try to keep everything we do to keep everything really upgraded. And so, well, now when I said, I kind of made a joke that some people like after the trip, it was like Machu Picchu wasn't their favorite anymore. It was because of this place that we go to. It's called Nelpa Iglesia. It's one of the different kinds of off the beaten path things that we do. So we know of kind of secret ruins. Like, I mean, you could find this. It's not that hard, but people don't always know to go here. And so I think that's another advantage of coming with us and doing this. So this place is called the Portal, and if you notice the woman in the middle sitting right there, she's in this like, I mean, if you notice, it looks like it's almost laser cut. Now this is all the way up this hill, kind of hidden in a little cave, and so it's pretty awesome. And this was actually, some people said that they liked this particular archaeological site even more than Machu Picchu, which I think is a pretty good compliment to this. It's not downgrading Machu Picchu, but so we have these kind of off the beaten path things that we do, and there's more things too. So we're not telling you absolutely everything we are doing. This is kind of the
Right.
sample itinerary, but we have stuff that we're doing all the time. You'll get to experience it in person. So these are just some of the highlights. And I think this
Yeah,
might be
and
Edward's favorite here.
yeah, there's like a Sacred Valley Brewery, and this one of the best breweries I've ever been. I like beers. I like to try different IPAs, pale ales, and porter beers. And these guys, they tell us like their secret is the water that comes out from like the biggest mountain there, the Apu Veronica. And then the ingredients that they use are from the area. So they have like, I don't know, usually like 10 or 12 different selection of beer. And we do a tour. We have an alliances with these guys because we sell their beer at our restaurants in Lima. So they give us a whole tour, show us a whole process, do like a tasting of all the kinds of beer for us, and explain us all in a very nice manner.
Yeah, it's beer. It's really fun. And if you don't, some people opt out of this and then they just go back and rest in the hotel. And the hotel that we stay at has a great restaurant and there's all sorts of things. So if you're not quite a beer drinker, that's okay. We'll take care of you too. You don't have to drink. So,
And that's after a full day too. So we do different things, and then when we are in the Sacred Valley for those days that we are there doing the tours and doing visiting different places, we hire these vans that are with us the whole time. So if you want to bring your backpack, water, I don't know, like a sweatshirt or snacks and stuff, you can leave it on the van. So we can go do stuff, go back to a van, go to a next place. So that's another advantage too.
very cool. Okay, so PSAC is really fun if you are into shopping, and there's so many things. It's known for its shopping. It's probably the best place in Peru to get things. It's this huge market, and so it's really cute. That picture in the middle of the kids, they're around, and you can take pictures with some of the local people. And their cute llamas. And then, but also some people will go and buy Christmas presents or get a bunch of stuff. Like actually, the scarf I'm wearing came from PSAC Market, and I have a whole box of them that I give to people for presents because it's just, I mean, kind of what woman doesn't like a scarf, but plenty of shopping. And just randomly things happen, right? Like so the last time we were in PSAC, there was a parade that came up because there was a certain Saints Day going on. So it's just, we're kind of in the flow of the adventure too. We have the bone structure of the trips all planned out. And everything is really well planned and coordinated, but we give ourselves enough time to have these experiences too. So you can really go off and just, enjoy and get the feeling of the area.
Yes,
So
and in
our
all these places that we're gonna be going, sorry, Pops, we're gonna
yeah,
be going to restaurants that we know, that we research, that we ate there, most of them. And so in that sense, we're foodies. We like to eat, we like to explore new
foodies.
places. So again, Peru has one of the best foods in the world, guys. So you will be disappointed about it.
Absolutely. And then so we have after that we go up and we go to Cusco. And so Cusco's up really high. And we planned this trip on purpose in this direction because we're a couple thousand feet lower. Actually, Machu Picchu is lower than Cusco and the whole Sacred Valley. So it gives you a little time to acclimate. And so then we go up to Cusco, and it's a beautiful, as you can tell, it's a huge city. There's a lot of things to do. It's catered to tourists, but there's just, I mean, there's so much magic. And one of the real interesting things about Cusco, I think, is how the buildings are built right on top of Inca ruins. So like you'll see the structure of like the hotel we stay at actually has old Inca ruins that are built, and that's one of the reasons that we're staying there. It has a whole wall of original rock work and everything. So
from the 1600s. Yeah, and they're still standing. Yeah. So as a Cusco city, that's by the main square. Like Poppy mentioned, there's a lot of places to see. You can just walk around Cusco, get lost, and it's amazing. Really, like all the time you see like this our main square or this church, or like it's very, very cool place to explore around. Then one of the days in Cusco, we stayed 2 days and 2 nights in Cusco. So one of the days we're gonna do these ruins. It's called the Sacsayhuaman and Kenko. So these are ruins that are Inca ruins from the 1600s. And it's amazing, like the kind of architecture that they have. Some of those stones are like 5,000 tons. And it's great. I mean, it's so amazing when you see it and touch them and feel the energy in there. Like a lot of them, you cannot even put a needle in between. And they seem like laser cut. It's like they have a great technique back then, how they can do these buildings. They try to recreate them even now with our technology, and they cannot do it. So it's kind of like a mystery how they did that back in the day.
it's really cool. That's very cool. And then, so our last in Cusco, we have a woman that's with us the whole time who is a friend of Edward's but lives in Cusco and Sacred Valley. So what we do on that last day is give people time for self-exploration. So you can walk around, see different museums. But if you're like, wait, I really wanted to get this hat, our guide can help you get to these different places or find different things. So at that point, there's been friendships that are made. Sometimes groups walk around. Sometimes people just want to sleep a little bit in their hotel. So it's a free day, but we have a lot of suggestions of things to do. And so just kind of like I was saying before, the bones of the itinerary. So we went through some of the main things that we do, but this is about how it would look. So the first day is a travel day. We walk along the Malecon. We talked about that. Those are our 2 days in Lima. And then, we go to Cusco and go right down into the Sacred Valley. We do the Hummingbird Sanctuary, different types of different things. And so this is a sample. This stuff kind of moves around. Like for instance, maybe day 7 would be Machu Picchu, things like that. But for the most part, this is things that you can count on being a part of this tour.
And those are some reviews of people that we had 4 groups so far, and we have one in 3 months that is already booked and filled up. And what people tell us most is like how they enjoy being such an easy trip, because they're there for the ride and to enjoy. We take care of, if we have to take Ubers, we take care of that. Every train, every tour, every guide, every food, and with suggestions. And like Poppy mentioned earlier, we're part of that tour. So we'll be taking care and doing all the bookings. So you don't have to worry. It was, okay, guys, we're gonna meet here at 12:15 at the lobby. Or, we're meeting at 9 o'clock to go to a hummingbird place first and then to these ruins. And we inform everything that we're gonna do in the day. So that's what people, I think, in a way, value the most, from the service that we do, that we provide. And we're doing it for now. We don't know how long we're gonna do it. We're having fun with it. It's like going with friends and having a great experience for places that we know, restaurants that we ate, alliances that we made through the years. And I'm Peruvian, obviously, and Poppy's been going to Peru for 21 years since we met, and we go numerous times because of our businesses. So we just like to support our local friends and restaurants, and it's like we believe on that, in working everything in a nice manner and to the staff to grow organically. So as right now, we have our 5th group coming in a couple of months. And yeah, so that's the trip cost. So the whole trip is $34.99 and for double occupancy. And if you are going by yourself and you want your own room, this $400 more. So includes all transportation in Peru, the round trip, the plane tickets, like I mentioned, everything that you can imagine, really. hotels, all the meals, entrances, guides, and etc.
Yeah, even tips, entrance fees, all the tour guides. So it's and like I was saying kind of at the beginning, this is this is like all the upgrades. So I was out looking around at other trips to see, and I'm like, oh wow, that's super cheap. And then as I get into it, I'm like, oh yeah, but there's no food, and you have to pay for taxis, and it's the lower rooms in not the nice areas. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So what's cool about this is we create this, it's luxurious and it's very safe. So there's not going to be any surprises, and we're there. So it's kind of awesome because this also includes us being here if anything comes up, or there's any kind of surprises, we're here to take care of it. So it's kind of a cool addition where a lot of these things that you're buying, you don't have a dedicated tour guide. And sometimes some of them are, we've actually seen some that are double the cost that we do, and there's not even a tour guide. They're just like, okay, a van will pick you up here. Okay, this is where you're staying. So we think that it's a good deal, and we think one of the reasons we can do it for this kind of cost is because of the relationships that we have in Peru. But like I said, it's a very upgraded trip.
Yeah, because of the alliances that we have, really. I mean,
yeah.
we're
And so basically you could come to this trip and not bring another cent. What isn't included would be airfare to and from Lima. So you have to get to Lima. We can help with that if you need it. And then any extra drinks, snacks, or restaurants you want to do on your side. So it's one drink per meal. And some people like to have more, pisco sours or drink more stuff. So we only charge one because it was too hard to cost it out. Like if there's a big drinker and somebody doesn't want to drink at all, it doesn't seem fair to raise the costs. So that's why extra drinks are like that. Obviously, souvenirs. We organize massages when we're in Miraflores, that first part of the trip. So if that's something you want to do, we have a massage therapist that comes to your room. But those are what's not included, more just because it's what people can choose on their own. So and then so our frequently asked questions. Some people are concerned about, like, do you need any special vaccines? And for Lima and Machu Picchu, you don't. If you ever find yourself going to the jungle in Peru, the rainforest, there are some things that you need to do, but for this trip, nothing. And then another question, like, what's the weather like? And so it's almost probably better just to Google like the time that we're going and get that feeling exactly of what the weather is. But just so you kind of have the knowledge, it's on the other side of the equator, so everything's like, well, backwards, right? For if you're on the northern half of the world. So like in June is kind of starting their winter, and so it's just reversed. And then well, we talked about the hidden cost things, but like I said, you could literally not bring another penny and you could take the whole trip. So and if you need help with the airline tickets, we can help you out with that. We know how to do it, and we know the best flights to get. So if that's something you want help with, if not, you just buy them yourself. And then we'll also be in contact about if it's a good flight, or I'll look over your itinerary to make sure that it fits in with what we're doing. So we're here really for you every step of the way, which I think is an advantage. All right.
Yeah, and then so what we do is like $1,000 non-refundable deposit. Some people want to pay us a whole trip, and that's fine too. We recommend trip insurance. We had a passenger that couldn't make the trip, so with the trip insurance, he got reimbursed everything. And we have like different methods of paying. You can send a Zelle or Venmo. You can send us a check. There's like a credit card. We have a 3% fee that they charge us. And yeah, there's a QR code, guys. Like, I mean, this is a trip that everybody that has been there, they really like it, and they cannot talk better about it. So yeah, we hope that you guys enjoy this presentation. And yeah, if you think about it or you have any more questions, text Poppy. And yeah, we're here for you guys, like she said. So the trips can book soon. They don't take too long to get filled up. So if you're interested, don't hesitate to shoot us a text, call us, and yeah, so we're here the whole way.
Yeah, absolutely. We're hoping to hear from you. Just let me know Text me with any questions. I mean, and they can be like silly, stupid questions. I don't care if you want to have something like just ask something quick. I'm here for you and Edward too. And we're really having a great time doing these trips. It really does feel like friends. And so we'll be happy to have you join us on our trip and then
Yeah.
so just reach out. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.